Welcome back. We are on night 3 of the Right Way week. Last night together, I have a dirty screen and a child who's mowing outside. So hopefully you can't hear the lawnmower. I'm like, of course, this is when you choose to mow finally, and also right outside my office window. That's fantastic. But he's doing it, so we're not going to complain. Okay, there's the chat at the bottom. If you're new here live, there's a chat box. There's also a Q&A box. You can put questions in either one of those. And I will make sure and save time at the end. And also as I see them when I'm going through content, I try to stop and look at it. If it's relevant to what I'm talking about, I will cover it there as well. So tonight we're going to talk about weight loss resistance in the emotional mental perspective of it, because I think we can all agree that yes, that there are physical reasons as to why you're not losing weight, as to why you have energy issues, and those have to be addressed. But also there's a reason why you got here in the first place. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let me share my screen. Oh, hold on. I need to make this guy smaller. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the last 2 days we talked about stress, and yesterday we talked about hormonal balance, and today we're going to tie it all together with the emotional mental connection, which is very important to making sure that this is the very last time that you lose weight. We learned that cortisol can really lead to imbalances, which will affect your ability to lose weight. We talked about how stress can impact your food choices, sleep patterns, your overall well being. And most importantly, we emphasized that a safe body will lose weight with ease. And it's our responsibility to create that safe environment. And then yesterday, we dived into the intricate world of hormonal balance. It all stems from blood sugar and blood sugar instability, which will lead to hormonal imbalances. And we explored the effect of glucose and insulin on the other hormones, which will inhibit your ability to lose weight. Remember, blood glucose or blood sugar stability always stems from balanced meals, and then eating with your circadian rhythm, or eating with the sun and sleeping with the moon, as well as building muscle and maintaining muscle. So what we learned over the past 2 days is that weight loss, especially for women in midlife, it's not just about calories in and calories out. If it was, you would have likely figured it out by now. It's really a complex interplay of stress management, hormonal balance, and creating a safe environment for your body to thrive. And today we're going to tie all this together, and we're also going to talk about the emotional mental connection, in which many times we're lacking in whenever we go into a phase of wanting to lose weight. Because many times with you online, if you ever listen to weight loss resistance coaches, or you read about weight loss resistance, it's always talked about in the physical form, which it's totally true, totally valid. It is a physical thing. But we also want to remember that there's reasons as to why you got here today. We're going to talk about the actual reasons of weight loss resistance we have in the physical form, but we're also going to talk about the mental and emotional factors into weight loss resistance as well. And that's what nobody is talking about out there, because it's an integral part of your weight loss solution. And also remember, and I don't know that I said this at the beginning, whenever I say weight loss, I'm always talking fat loss. We want to be very choosy on how we lose weight. We don't want to lose muscle weight. We don't want to lose bone weight. We don't want to lose that kind of weight. We only want to lose body fat weight. So just so you know, for clarity's sakes, whenever I say weight loss, I'm always talking specifically fat loss. Um, okay. I lost my spot here now that I started talking about that. So I often will hear from clients that they spend a ton of money on labs or different coaching programs, and then they never actually felt better. And that they asked for a plan, they went into a program, and then they just got handed a plan, and then it was like best wishes. And that's why it's so important to understand that the reason for weight loss resistance is that it didn't just happen on its own. Your body didn't just rebel against you and go rogue for no reason and resist you to lose weight all of a sudden. Because remember, your body always has your back. Your body always has a reason and is always responding to your environment, the environment that you put your body in. So, handing you a lab, for instance, or a protocol with telling you exactly what to do with a list of supplements isn't going to actually help you in the long run because there is a mental and emotional connection here as well as physical. Many times we choose that path of just give me the plan and I'll do it because we think it'll be easier. And also we have this perfectionism mindset that if we do it that way, we'll definitely get our result. And we think it'll be easier, but it's not actually how it happens. We have to really be able to evolve with ourselves along that journey. Um, and oftentimes, when we dive into that and we're like, just give me the plan and I'll do it, we do it from a place of desperation because you really feel like I need to do something. There's no way that I wouldn't follow through. I need to get this weight off. I need to feel better until you start it. And what happens is you start to feel a little bit better, and then life happens and you make one little slip up, and then you just make it mean like the world is ending, that you don't have time for right now. You just can't follow through. And oftentimes it's just the feeling of seeing a little bit of change will be enough for you to actually quit. It doesn't make sense, but it happens time and time again. Think about your history with weight loss or those attempts. So what happens when you start to feel better? You start to see that you can do it. And then you prioritize something else. You go backwards with the reassurance that you could do it if you wanted to, but now it's just not the right time. How many times do we say that? Now is not the right time. But really, what the true thing here that you're totally missing the boat on in the past is that it's the thoughts and the feelings that need coaching along with a physical plan to help you feel better. And it's really about deciding who the future you is, about becoming her now and stop dreaming about her and stop wasting time. Stop telling yourself that when the kids are older, when the kids are less busy, when this thing is paid off, when work is better, there will never be a better time than now. And actually, there will never be an easier time than right now. Because I can dare to bet that everybody on this call and everybody listening to this replay wishes that they would have done this several years ago, because you know it would have been easier several years ago. And you wouldn't have to be doing this either now again or for at this time or this attempt, whatever it is. And you're going to say that again in 5 years to yourself. So give your future self the gift of saying, yes, I am committing to myself. No one ever tells me that they wish they would have waited, but everyone says, I wish I would have done this sooner. The future you does not want you to wait anymore. So I want you to ask yourself, what would you 1 year from now, in the body you love, in the mindset that's clear, in the emotionally resilient woman, say to you now? She'd say, um, she'd say, don't wait. She'd say, everything that you're scared of is worth it. She'd say, you don't have to be perfect to start. She'd say, you're actually not stuck. There are actual solutions that will help you. And she'd say, you are going to feel free. The problem is that you're allowing the personal circumstances of your life, your work, your kids' schedules, work schedules, stress, relationships, you let them dictate your thoughts and your feelings. And you allow those circumstances to tell you what to do instead of you yourself deciding to do them on your own. And you make that mean that that's the only truth and it's the only option, when really you're just taking the temporary, easy way out of choosing outside of you instead of choosing you. And resistance to changing your habits, you You don't always know why it happens, and then you make it mean something personal to you, right? So many times we go and we try to implement a new habit. Let's say I'm telling you to start eating breakfast within an hour, and you don't follow through on the third day, but you did on the first and the second. And then on the third day, you start to find reasons why this isn't working. You can't because of your schedule. The blender's too loud in the morning, right? You've come up with all of these several reasons. And then you make it mean very personal to you that you just can't do it. And there's something wrong with you. And then you try to tell yourself, I'm not capable. Maybe I don't want this bad enough. I can't trust myself. And you beat yourself up with those kinds of thoughts, and you stay stuck in a cycle of resistance, and you convince yourself that the reason that you have this resistance is that something is wrong with you. And there's no worse place to be in when you feel this way. And then when you go try to change again, and you do this without coaching, without the mindset coaching portion of it, this is why you will have resistance to follow through, because you think that you must be the problem. And the plan, and then you will continue to find resistance with the plan. So then you try the next thing, and you try the next thing and the next thing, trying to find something that will fit into your life without actually trying to change anything about yourself. And that's the thing that needs to change. It's you and your thinking and your feeling and your doing. When you change that, the magic occurs. You finally reach your goals. You finally get there, and then you get to do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and you stop playing small and stop staying stuck. The problem lies in your resistance to follow through. Resistance is like a brick wall. The answer is always on the other side of it, but you can't ever access the answer until you start chipping away at that resistance or that brick wall. And that's the emotional and mental work that comes along with weight loss resistance, and it has to be addressed. The brick wall is actually, it's a theoretical thing that you can see there. It's actually the beliefs and emotions you have about yourself as an optimally healthy woman. It's your self-concept and how you see yourself. And when this resistance is present, you have beliefs about yourself that will contradict yourself as a healthy person. Right? So what you're wanting is on the other side of that brick wall. And you have beliefs about yourself right now that you can't do it. You're not worthy enough. You don't have time. There's something wrong with you. You just don't have access to that. So then when you try to just jump the wall to try to go to the other side by just following a strict plan and not working on your mindset, you end up falling right into that wall, because those are your beliefs that you have about yourself. And those beliefs will always hold you back to where you currently are. And this is why coaching is so important. This is why I include this in Mindfully Well, because I have got to help you access that part of your beliefs. And I've got to help you see what is holding you back, so you don't have to jump over that wall and fall flat on your face, but you're actually breaking down that wall so you can get to the other side. Your decisions over and over in the past reflect what you believe about yourself currently, right? I'm busy, and so now I'll hit the drive-through. I'm overwhelmed. I'm going to have a drink, or I'm going to have popcorn for dinner because that's easier. I'm tired, so I'm going to scroll on my phone instead of go for a walk or actually go to bed. And does this really matter? And then you just don't follow through. And then the one that comes up all the time is, if I can't be perfect, I choose to do nothing. Your lack of healthy habits doesn't just happen, which should feel like a breath of fresh air, right? It doesn't just happen overnight. It actually happens with repetition, with you practicing. Because if you can feel relief that it doesn't just happen, then you know you can actually solve this. And sometimes this can be a little bit upsetting, because you are spending years and years and years of trying to create healthy habits only to always go backwards to where you were. When you realize that you actually had this potential within you the entire time. But this is the difference. I want you to see that this is the difference between consumption and creation. First, you can understand that your actions don't just happen. You can, um, you can just change by, you can't, sorry. My gosh, words are so hard for me in the evenings. You can't just change with knowing things, right? And you know this because I know you well, and I know that you have consumed so much information because of social media, with Google. Like the answers are at our fingertips at all times. And so I know that you have a lot of knowledge in your brain, but you don't actually have skill. Knowledge does not create skill. Practice and implementation is what creates skill. And skill is what you are lacking. Practicing and doing and creating your future self is what you need to do. You need to become skilled in allowing the urges, the desires for junk food and something quick and fast and easy, or skipping meals, or skipping workouts, or saying yes to other people instead of yourself. Build the habits to establish a healthy lifestyle that you want to have. And when you become skilled and you no longer depend on just consumption of more information as your missing piece, you then become that confident woman who has energy, who has pride, who gets dressed with ease. You become the calm mom who doesn't lose her shit because the scale went up this morning. You become free because you no longer feel stuck in your body. This happens with practice. It doesn't happen with just one time. You're you become determined to figure it on your own. And when you find information, as you have all of this week, right? I'm giving you lots of information. And then this reinforces that you know how to do this, but then you go to implement it and you become even more frustrated because it's not actually enough. The knowledge is never enough. You have to practice this. You have to develop the skill. Knowledge does not create skill. For example, do you want a med student who's been in school for 4 years in med school, 4 years in undergrad to jump into the OR and start operating on you because he just did 4 years of med school? No, you definitely don't want that, right? You want a surgeon who has been in the OR hundreds of times and thousands of times because you trust that skill. And that's how you become that future version of you that you want to be, that feels confident, that loses weight with ease, that knows exactly what to do, that becomes that woman that does what she said she would do to herself. Your follow through becomes immaculate. And if you can't follow through, you always love your reason as to why you are not following through, because you have got your back, because you have self love and you have self compassion. And I'm going to teach you those skills in Mindfully Well. So now that we understand some complexities between weight loss resistance and the physical and the emotional, let's talk about how we actually can address these, because Mindfully Well is not just another diet or quick fix solution. It truly is a comprehensive plan to get to the root cause of not only physically why dieting isn't working anymore and weight loss resistance, but also how we do this in midlife with our increased stress, with the demands of our life, and how we do this. So, personalized nutrition. I create a nutrition plan tailored uniquely to you, where you currently are with your past history of dieting, hormonal imbalances that I see, blood sugar instability, and making sure that I'm addressing all aspects that you need for a personalized solution. I do not follow a calculator. I do not have a script. I do not have a template that I just copy and paste from. I take a look at each unique person in my program and I create a protocol that will work for you. And it all is based on your past history. We also do a lot of stress management. So I provide you with the practical tools and techniques to manage your stress effectively. I help you create that safe environment that your body really needs to thrive. And then we also work on balancing your hormones, because if hormones aren't balanced, then weight loss simply isn't going to happen. And also, what I just talked about, your emotional well being, your mindset, and your follow through, and ultimately your accountability. Whenever you join a program like mine, you come in and you have a coach. It's very easy in the beginning to be accountable to the coach, right? That's why that relationship works so well. And that's why coaching works well because the client comes in, the client pays the client now feels obligated to show up, right? I'm paying her, I'm going to do this. I also want it, right? So I'm going to show up. But what happens, and this is just natural human behavior, is that we're not excited anymore after a few weeks in, 6, 8 weeks in, we're not excited anymore. And we start to kind of slowly back off. We're not fully out of the program. We're still there, but it's not at forefront of the mind anymore. But what I do up until that point is that I'm getting ready for you to have this natural behavior change. And I'm teaching you along this way how to be accountable to yourself because it doesn't help you for the rest of your life to just know how to be accountable to me. That's not helpful. You're not going to pay me forever. You're not going to be in Mindfully Well forever. And I love you, but I don't want to be your coach forever either. That doesn't prove a very good point of my program if you need me forever. So I teach you how to be accountable to yourself because that's what you need. It's that trust relationship with yourself. It's the accountability with yourself. It's the follow through with yourself. Because if you have follow through, you are taking care of most of the problems that you are coming to me with. So how is it different? It's comprehensive, it's personalized. You also get labs so that we can really find out underneath the hood what's going on. That gives you quicker, faster results. You also have ongoing support to me, and we're in a really safe, nurturing environment for your body and mind. And I really want you to see this in a different light today. I want you to stop going out to try to figure out on your own, only to consume more information without practice of skill and feel frustrated again, feel confused again because you still aren't changing. Confusion is one of those feelings that we will stay completely stuck in. When we feel confused, we do nothing. And that you can't afford to do nothing at this point. You have got to do something. You have got to change things because I'm telling you, hands down, that you can feel so much better than what you feel today. You can have energy in the morning. You can feel great when you get dressed in the morning. You can step on the scale and not have a single unnecessary negative thought about it. And I can teach you all of those things. And when you feel this way, you're going to go out into this world and you're going to do amazing things because you feel so well taken care of by yourself. You don't need anybody else to care for you. You don't need anybody else to make sure that you are fed and you have moved for the day and you have meditated and you have done what you need to do for yourself to show up. You're taking care of yourself, and there's no better gift that you can ever give yourself than that. And then you're going to go out into the world and you're going to replicate that energy over and over and over again. And the world will change because you changed. Your household will change because you changed. And everything will be better when the mother, when the wife, when the female in the household is well taken care of. 100%, I believe this to be true. And I know that you know this is true as well. There is nothing wrong with you. That's the best thing I can ever tell you. You're just stopping the process of change at consumption and not creation. You need to create your goal. You need to create your energy. You need to create your weight loss. You don't need to know more at this point. You need to practice the skills of allowing discomfort and stop believing excuses and justifications that you give yourself each day for not doing the things that you know you need to do. You need to build the emotional capacity to tolerate some discomfort for a positive change and becoming a healthier person. No longer relying on the skills of coping through scrolling, skipping your said bedtime, skipping your workout in the morning, eating junk food because it's quick, drinking on the weekends or the evenings, and just avoiding what really needs to be addressed. Not doing this work will keep you stuck. You will feel frustrated because you know you don't feel good, and you're listening to me now, and you know you could feel good. You have the information, but you don't change because we know it's not as simple as that. You are not a problem. There is nothing actually wrong with you. Everything that's going on right now has an actual solution. It has an answer to it. This isn't about you being weak or not being able to do what you said you could do. This is about you tapping into your mind and feeling different feelings and having a follow through as well. Okay, we did that one. So my client Colleen had said, since joining Mindfully Well, I have been able to see the same number on the scale I did before I was pregnant. She felt more confident in fueling her body than ever. And she was a client who had a late pregnancy and a late in life pregnancy, which I think was around 40. And then so I think she was like 42 when she was in my program as well. And Angie said, from mindset to stress management to healthy habits to knowing how to better care for myself as I age, your program was the piece that I was missing for me. And I take something away from everything that I listen to. And I can't thank you enough. So, oftentimes, when you set out to do this for the very last time, you are going to lack some belief, right? Because in the past, you've had failures, right? You stop, you start, you stop, you start, you do this all over again. And whenever you start something new, you have this little voice in the back of your mind that says, oh, here she goes again. And think about all those times that she started and she stopped. I don't actually believe she can, but we're just going to play along for a while. And then when something happens, your voice in your mind says, oh, I told you. You don't follow through. You don't trust yourself. You can't do this. You will always be like this. Your mind will always tell you the same story. But here's the thing with coaching and Mindfully Well is that with me as your coach, I already believe that you can. I already believe that you have everything in you to be able to do that, to be able to do this. I already believe that this is a sure thing, that this is a three-pointer, it's going right in, that this is a hole in one. I already know that for you, and I hold your belief until you're ready to take it. And if you don't believe me, or if you don't believe I can hold this belief until you get there. And in Mindfully Well, you will get there. And I know you'll get there because I know you'll have results. And this is how I coach from physical, emotional, and mental autonomy. It's the believing and the trusting and completing it all on your own in Mindfully Well and being completely independent to leave Mindfully Well. If you, it's the full solution that you need. Because what if I actually told you today that it was inevitable? It was inevitable that you would get to your goal. That it was that hole in one. It would happen. What would you do? You say, of course, yes, I'll join. I'm going to do this. So if you're going to do this, if you're going to join Mindfully Well, you're going to go all in. You totally believe or don't quite believe, but you're going to let me hold your belief for you until you're ready to take it. I want you to remember one thing. I want you to do it for love. You do it for love for yourself. Because at the end of this, no one will do that for you. I want that to really sit with you. Nobody is going to do this work for you. I'm going to be here to hold space for you. I'm going to be here to guide you. Every woman in Mindfully Well is here to support you as well. But you're the one that must do this from a place of love. And I guarantee you that you've never done this from a place of love before. I know your goal. I understand your goal and I know how to get you there. I know how to see you to it. I also can see your whole picture when you can't. And that's what a coach does. When you need to rest, but you can't see it, I do. When you need to push, but you can't see it, I can. When you need tough love, but you can't give yourself it, I can. I love you through it, and I show you how to love yourself through it. Self love looks like evolving trust. So you know when to pick up the weights and get up and do your workout or take a nap because you can choose both. You can choose either from a place of self love. And that is not something that is taught in the industry that I'm in. Self love, it looks like doing what you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable, because you know that you always have your back. Self love looks like staying conscious and not eating your feelings or drinking to cover them up and knowing what you truly need. And it's not usually a bowl of ice cream, it's learning what your needs are. Self love looks like getting up to work out because you know what a rested body feels like. Self love looks like committing to quality sleep because you know what a tired body looks like. And self love looks like taking a rest day because you love your body enough to rest. And it looks like saying no when you wanted to say yes. And it looks like saying yes when you wanted to say no. Self love looks like knowing what you want and following through. Remember on Tuesday when I asked you what you wanted? I want you to make sure to write that down. I want you to make sure that it's somewhere that you can always see it. Put it on your fridge, put it on your mirror, put it on your phone so that you know what that feeling is that you actually want. And you can love yourself to that feeling. And when you get there, it's so much better. It doesn't matter what the scale says when you get there because you have that feeling and you loved yourself to that feeling. When you do that, you get to keep going instead of sabotaging yourself and going back to where you were. That's the missing link. That's just what you haven't done yet. It's not just about the foods in your body. It's how you think, it's how you feel, and it's what you do from those feelings. So are you going to commit to yourself and love yourself through this? Because I would love to welcome you into Mindfully Well, where we do that together. So I am so from yesterday, let me stop sharing this here quick so I can get to my Zoom. From yesterday, I have 5 spots left in this round of Mindfully Well. I also have 2 one-on-one calls that are up for grabs. The first 2 people that enroll after today get that bonus one-on-one call with me. I'm going to put the link in here so you can go straight there from this call. I hope that works. It doesn't look like it linked. It's just mindfullywell.com. It's super easy. And I also go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A box if you have any, because that's what I have for for my slide deck. I got done in a half hour today, guys. So I need to pick my winners and I want to answer your questions about the program. And I want to know your hesitations. I want to know what you're worried about. I want to know all of the stuff. So put it in there. I'm going to help you. I'm going to walk you through it for the next 15 minutes while I look at who my winners are because I have them pulled up here. Okay. Laura, I don't know how to say your last name. Bienhoff. You are the winner of a $50 gift card as well as, I don't have your first name. It's M.B. Willett. And I will email both of you so you both know that you won. So you are the winners for the replying to how do you want to feel at your goal versus having a weight loss goal and thinking that that will be your end all. We want to know what feeling do we actually want to have, because that's really what we actually want. It's not the number on the scale, it's not a certain pant size, it's how we feel in our bodies. And so that was the prompt for that. All right, so details on Mindfully Well. So how the program works is that we start on Monday. Monday's our first official week. I have the Mindfully Well curriculum. The curriculum is proven for success. It's the physical, mental, and emotional connection for sustainable weight loss. So I teach you all of that through videos online that you can listen to anytime. They're on the go, they're on demand whenever you have time for them. I also create a personalized protocol based on your past and where you are now and your goals. And that protocol includes everything for nutrition. It includes movement, and it also includes all lifestyle things as well as stress. So I really take a look at, what is your stress at right now? Is that something that needs to be on the forefront? And we start to work on that. And then, so we have those in place for your protocol. Every week, we do a check in together. So I send you a form to fill out for me. I go over the entire form, and then I offer you feedback on what needs to change, what I want you to improve on, what was holding you back from last week, or maybe we're celebrating because you're making great strides. So we do that. I also look at the consistency of your nutrition, your intake to know, are we eating enough, the right kinds of foods? Are we getting everything into your body that we need to in order to create the change? And then we also have, so every week I'm in touch with you. You have access to me at any time as well. You have one-on-one access to me through the chat. You can send me a message. We also have a community together. In our community, in there, I'm doing prompts, we're doing challenges, we're doing things to keep you engaged and accountable, right? Because I'm teaching you accountability, not only to me and the program, but also to yourself. And then we also have weekly coaching calls. These are where the magic happens, because I can, like I told you tonight, I can teach you all the things, I can tell you what to do. But if you're not following through because of mindset things, then you're only going to get so far. And so in our group coaching calls, we have every week we have a different topic that we're coaching around. And this is the evolution of creating health, sustainability, and mindset, and all the things that you need to know about mindset related with weight loss and health. And so every week we have a different topic that we're coached on, and these will be the things that help you break through your resistance, your emotional resistance to follow through. So, for example, one of the things that I do right in the beginning of Mindfully Well is we do a 20/80 call. And what this is many times, anytime you join a program, you become overwhelmed, right? Like, I don't have time. How am I going to do this? What am I going to do over there? And all this stuff. I already know you're stressed. I already know you don't have very much time. So I do a 20/80 call with you so that we can focus on the things that create 80% of your result and only take 20% of your energy. And it's different for everyone on what really creates that big of a result, but it's there for you. There is a thing there for you that will help you create that result. And it only takes a little bit of energy. And so if we can focus on those little things to create that big result, it minimizes the amount of stuff that you think you have to do in order to create that result. And it now makes it very doable, and you can implement it. And you create so much less mind drama. We have a lot of mind drama at all times, right? Because that's what our mind does. It loves drama because drama keeps us safe, keeps us aware. But we get to be in charge of that narration now. We get to understand what it's trying to teach us and what it's trying to tell us. And then we get to consciously decide what we choose to participate in with the drama and what we choose not to participate in. And so that's an example of what a weekly call would look like, because I already know that you're going to come into the program and you're going to feel stressed and overwhelmed and worried that you can't follow through. We are going to make sure that we have that set in place for you so that you know what do you need to actually focus on. Because the truth is, you don't need to focus on everything. If we're focusing on everything, you're going to be more exhausted and you're going to be focusing on perfectionism, and then you're going to quit. I already know that that's not in your best interest. So that would be an example of mindset things. We also have an entire month dedicated to stress. And so we coach on your stress a lot. We coach around your perception of stress. We coach around the narration you have around your stress. We coach on why you actually feel the way you do about the stress in your life. And that is a game changer for you. You will never see stress the same after that month together. You will always look at stress differently. Um, okay, let's see here. Avocados are good for you. Yes. Are they any good substitutions? Um, no, you can't taste them in smoothies. You can bury them in tacos or spicy foods, but that's about it. But here's the thing, Amanda, is that you have this attachment to avocados that you have to eat them because they're good for you. That's not true. You don't have to eat them because they're good for you. Like eat other foods that are good for you. I mean, you can have a very good diet without avocados. To be honest, I don't really love avocados. I will have them in like a really good guacamole, and then that's all I'm interested in. So, but if you put them in smoothies, you actually can't taste them. They do make it really soft and creamy, actually. So they're good in smoothies. Um, let's see here. And then switch up your exercise schedule, strength 4 times a week, going good. Yes, you are welcome. I'm not sure what your was that in the sweet potato fries might have been in the menu for this thing for the right way week. I'm not sure what you're asking on that. But okay. So mindset coaching in the group coaching calls as well. And you also have access to labs through me. You also get a discount on medical grade supplements and yeah, I mean it's the everything that you need for a solution in your weight loss, in your health, in your hormonal management in midlife. It's everything that, and also workouts. I forgot to say that. I now have strength training workouts for you. They're all located on an app. You just go in, log your workouts, and it helps you with progressive overload, which is essential for your metabolism and your ability to burn body fat and also to get you out of weight loss resistance. Um, so I have workouts for you for gym or home. Gym, you just need dumbbells, some bands. That's about it. And then at gym, it's standard, or in the gym, it's standard gym equipment. It's not anything super fancy, but I wanted to be able to give you workouts because I know what progressive overload looks like, and I want to make sure that that is actually what's happening. That being said, if you have a program you love and you've been using, you can for sure use that. There's no problem with that. But I am going to be checking in with you to make sure that A, you're doing those workouts, B, you know you're getting stronger. And the reason why I have my workouts in an app is because it tells you that you're getting stronger because you're tracking your workouts and you're tracking your weights and you can see, oh, I am actually getting stronger. If you're getting stronger, you're building muscle. So we know that that's happening. All right, my friends, I don't have any more questions in here. If you do, you can always reply to any email and ask any question that you have. Again, I only have 5 spots left. 45 spots have been filled. Just a few left. Make sure and get in before the spots fill up. And if you're one of the first two from tonight, you will get a bonus one-on-one call for you as well. And this will be a great strategy session for both of us. All right. It was wonderful having you all here during the Right Way Week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned. But ultimately, after today, I hope you implement. I hope that you don't just let this information sit in your brain and that you do something different with it because you've got things to do out there. You have a world to change. You have a household to change. You yourself are so important. And I want you to take this action from love, loving yourself unconditionally and knowing that you in 5 years would say, thank you. Thank you for doing that. That was so worth the investment. It was worth the time. It was worth the energy, hands down. All right, my friends, it's been great being with you this week, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye.